I love sports, anime, and manga. It's got me invested in sports I already loved and sports I didn't even care about. Prime example being Slam Dunk. After dipping my feet into Vagabond, I was interested to check out a shonen basketball manga by the same author, and that manga made me shed actual tears. It's a beautiful story and one of my all-time favorites. It also introduced me to basketball, which before the manga, I was completely clueless about. Now, I'm not saying I'm keeping up with the NBA or anything, but the manga really made me respect and appreciate how great the sport can be, and even taught me a thing or two about basketball. Me personally, I'm a football guy. Always loved it, always will. It's by far the best sport in the world, and nothing can compare in my opinion. But I feel like football anime haven't really captured the magic of football. Captain Tsubasa is a cornerstone in any Middle Eastern kid's childhood, but looking back, it was dated and dumbed down. It's still a great show, but it doesn't have the grit that real football has. The recent Aoashi was a great show, but something just didn't click with me with the football aspect. It dealt more with the hardships surrounding football and team building. There are so many more football anime and manga I'm not even mentioning, because none of them have really truly captured what it actually feels like to score, to feel the intensity of the attack, the raw, nitty-gritty greed. Well, that is until Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a shonen anime about an experimental football program in Japan fronted by this borderline, completely psychotic Mob from Wish looking dude. The premise is that 300 of the best young forwards in Japan are invited to join this program where they will be shut off from society and locked into this building to compete against each other. The losers will be eliminated from the program and their careers in football will be over. And by the end of the program, only one player will remain, and that player will represent Japan at the World Cup. Of course, a lot of the people that are invited instantly are like, fuck that. But the protagonist Isagi doesn't have shit else going for him. So he decides, fuck it, we ball, and dashes to the entrance, and that alone somehow convinces everyone to just full send it. Look, I understand how shonen that elevator pitch was, but that's what's so sick about Blue Lock. It is so unapologetically shonen. It plays into the tropes and has its fun with it, but it never oversteps it and never makes it so shonen to the point where it's corny. It strikes that perfect balance of being unapologetically shonen and also leaving you actually invested and hyped when you need to be. With a show like Blue Lock that has a lot of characters, the hardest job is to make each one distinct instead of having crowds of literal random NPCs. And Blue Lock does a fantastic job with this. After finishing season 1, I could confidently say that I can vividly remember at least 20 recurring characters, which is a lot for me, because especially with anime, I tend to be a bit forgetful. My favorite characters are Nagi. He's sort of the Sasuke of the show, except he's more endearing. He can't be bothered to do anything. He's never worked at football, but he was always insanely good. And as the season progresses, you can see him fall further and further in love with football to the point where all he wants to do is improve and destroy everyone at Blue Lock. Bachira is another favorite. He's the wacky, maybe not completely right in the head type of character, but not in a cringe, like nobody understands me kind of way. It's more of a Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh type of not right in the head, just a bit more toned down. He is insanely talented at football, and he brings real energy and life to a lot of the scenes he's featured in. And more often than not, he just completely steals the show and comes up with some amazing plays. And of course, another favorite would have to be Isagi. Isagi, for the entirety of the season, and I presume the whole show, has a chip on his shoulder and has something to prove to not just everyone around him, but also to himself. And in every match played during the season, his character completely shifts the second he steps on the pitch. And you see a sort of monstrous side to him. He gives each match his 100%. And what's so great about him is that sometimes he even manages to go beyond that. One thing I could see people complaining about is the CG. I know it's the normie thing to complain about with every show, and I agree that most times the CG hate is cringe. I even remember when JoJo Stone Ocean was coming out, this screenshot was going around Twitter, and I was repulsed that people gave that much of a shit, considering it really did not even look noticeable. However, all that being said, the CG here, it's not the greatest. It looks stiff and can sometimes affect the intensity of the scene, because it would go from god tier animation to this. But in my opinion, it's very easy to look past, and the show more than makes up for it during scenes like this, where the animation is actually on steroids. If you can't look past it but are still interested in Blue Lock, the manga for Blue Lock is excellent and should serve as another great way to experience the show. Blue Lock was a show I was seriously rooting for to be the football anime, and I'm super glad to report that it completely lived up to my expectations and even exceeded them. As of right now, only one season is out, 24 episodes. I'd urge you to give it a chance. It's genuinely one of the best anime I've seen in years, and season 2 is already greenlit alongside a movie, and from what I'm hearing from manga readers, the show only gets better and better from here. So you're finished with Haikyuu, Kuroko's Basketball, Slam Dunk, all these really popular sports anime. You're looking for something new to sink your teeth into, or even if you've never seen a sports anime, I think you 100% should be checking out Blue Lock. Do not let it go under the radar. I have a real serious inkling that this could be one of the greatest sports anime ever, and I don't say that lightly. This anime pulled me out of a fucking year-long anime drought. It is that good, and I urge you to watch it. Yeah, that's all from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys check out Blue Lock. If you guys liked this short-ish video, let me know, because these are way easier to make for me, and this way I could talk about a lot more stuff. So if you like them, I'll keep making them. Yeah, that's all from me. See you guys next time. Bye.